So guess what happened? What? Working out for everybody except for me. Ages 22 to 25. You're growing in ways that you don't see. Like something out of a movie. Oh my gosh. All it takes is one small change. Hi, I'm Mahtha. I hope you're doing well. I wanted to talk about the dreadful feeling of being behind. It's something that a lot of us feel at some point, but it isn't always easy to talk about, right? I think that it's super important to be open and share our experiences, even when it comes to difficult feelings. So I'm gonna tell you a little story. In my final year of university, right when I started to get the hang of things and things started to go right, they went so left. It was actually like something out of a movie. And it was like these earth-shatteringly terrible things were happening in my personal life, but I couldn't let my grades slip. It wasn't an option to let them. And it's not just because I have parents who do not play about education. I mean, that was definitely a contributing factor, but I had to succeed here. There was a lot going on and I had to be done and out of there. Like, I remember there was a lack of student housing in my university town, and it was such a stressful process. First, I gotta worry about spending $200 on one textbook for one semester, and now I gotta worry about finding housing. Like, how does that make sense? You guys wanted me. You sent me an offer letter. What? But anyways, a lot was happening, and it was a really dark and heavy time, and I didn't feel like I could be myself anymore. I really couldn't, given the circumstances. I was at my breaking point, for real. So guess what happened? I graduated. But once I did, there were just so many things that I felt so behind it. Like navigating the job market. Oh my gosh. It's been terrible, I'm not even gonna lie. And I always like to be on the go, so to be forced to slow down, it felt like punishment. It felt like I did something wrong. This period in my life really felt like the odds were stacked against me and there were no wins. I felt like a little cartoon mouse, or like a mouse from a children's book, and if I shook a jar of cookies, like crumbs would come out. But you know what? Crumbs wouldn't even be there. It would just be empty. It was so bleak. I'm not even joking. Because it's like you work so hard, right? Despite any issues, and then things aren't working. For me, it was like I got these academic awards that I worked so hard to get. And it's this feeling of I did my part. What else do I do? And then naturally, when you're putting so much time and effort into something and it isn't working out, what happens? Your self-esteem starts to take a plunge. Because now you're questioning your own capabilities. And it's easy to feel like, okay, it's working out for everybody except for me. So there's something wrong with me. Maybe I'm not as smart as I thought I was, or as capable. And I'm here to tell you, if you're thinking these things right now, stop it. Stop it right now. Feeling frustrated and down when things aren't working out or moving at the pace you want them to is totally understandable. It's like you're navigating a maze and you keep hitting dead ends over and over. Who wouldn't get frustrated by that, right? And do you know what can complicate it even more and stress us out to the max? I don't know if you've done this. I used to do this all the time, but it's when you sit down and write out a plan for your life. Like, from this age to this age, I'll be doing this, and from here to here, I'll be doing that. I was a big planner. I made so many lists. And guess which planned area of my life stressed me out the most because it wasn't working out? Like, goals weren't being met in this sector. Let's take a minute. If you'd like, take a second to comment your guesses. I would be like, I'm gonna meet my future partner in university. And from ages 22 to 25, we are going to build the most solid foundation for our relationship. Like, concrete who? Diamonds when? Our relationship was going to be the strongest thing in the universe. No one could break it. And after 26, we can consider engagement and getting married. I remember writing down, let's not rush it, because I wanted to take my time. This was me taking my time. And do you know where my future husband is? Can you tell me, because I still haven't met him? Girl, I didn't meet my husband at university. I was met with problems. I was fighting for my life. I found one of these lists a couple months ago and I burst out laughing because I'm 23 right now. 24 in May. I'm a Taurus. According to my timeline, I should be in my foundation building phase. Okay, all that aside, I don't feel sad about not meeting these goals. But a couple years ago, I was really upset about it. I'd cry a lot because I felt like that person just didn't exist for me. me. But when I think about it now, I'm happy that it didn't happen for me yet, because the difficult stuff that I went through really made me grow and change in ways that I think were needed to be my best self. And I definitely needed to be single during this time so I could be honest with myself about who I wanted to be and what I wanted out of life. Those periods where I felt behind, lost, and really doubted myself were necessary. They helped me take a really good look at my life, who I was, the way I thought about things, the connections I was putting my energy into, things I liked doing, and forced me to reevaluate them. Like, are these things really what I want for myself? Or am I just accustomed to everything because it's how it's always been? Is this what everyone expects of me? Or is this what I actually want in my heart? Reflection periods are necessary for you to really tap into your real self and what you want to do in this life. And I know they're frustrating, especially when you're forced into them. Trust me, I spent so many days being upset because I felt like things weren't falling into place for me, no matter how hard I worked. And I had this sinking feeling that they never would work out. But think about it. Sometimes all it takes is one small change for everything to turn around, right? Like if you're stressed and discouraged with your job search, one offer could change everything. And it goes for finding a partner as well. Like I could go out right now and bump into the love of my life. And when things work out, all this time that you spent stressing about them is gonna feel like a distant memory. I really do believe that things fall into place when they're meant to. Sometimes we gotta play the waiting game, and sometimes we gotta reevaluate our methods of trying to accomplish a goal. You can't always plan your life out. Trust me, I tried. But you can be kind to yourself and see the silver lining in things, even when it's hard. And when things feel slow and stagnant and you're feeling down, you gotta stop and smell the roses. Because these are the moments where you really gotta appreciate the little things. And make sure that you're taking active steps to improve your mood and re-energize yourself. I actually saw my favorite movie in the theaters recently, and it really resonates with what we're talking about. So it's called Kiki's Delivery Service. I highly recommend it if you haven't seen it yet. The animation is gorgeous, the soundtrack is beautiful, and I just really love the way that complex feelings are expressed through the characters. They do a phenomenal job. I started tearing up in like the first 30 seconds. Nothing sad was even happening. This is not a sad movie, but it's just so special to me, and I feel like it's so relatable to anyone who feels out of place sometimes. So the main character's name is Kiki, and she's a young witch. For her training, she has to go to a different town and help out the people for a year. She's really excited to go, but when she gets there, there's a lot of obstacles and difficulties that she didn't anticipate. She gets by though and meets amazing people. She's doing her thing, but there's this one part where some stuff happens and she gets really discouraged, and she actually loses her powers, which freaks her out, right? She's really taking this hard and she isolates herself. She's in her room alone, she doesn't really want to see anyone. And side note, she has a cat named Gigi who's always with her. And guess what? During this time where she needs someone, her cat's out on dates. He only came back for meals. I was so disappointed in that cat. But her friend, who's an artist, comes to visit her and invites Kiki to come to her cottage. When Kiki walks in, she sees all this beautiful art. She's entranced by it, and they have a conversation about her art process. And she says that on some days she can't create a single thing. And Kiki asks her what she does on those days. And she says she takes walks. She goes out in nature. Basically, the message is when you're feeling burned out, stressed, or fatigued by something, it's important to take a step back and do the things that you like, because it really helps you to reset and bounce back. I think this is really profound and important because sometimes when we feel behind in an aspect of our lives, we can try to push through even harder because we feel like we're not doing enough, right? Having discipline and consistency is definitely important, especially when we have goals that we want to accomplish. But don't confuse discipline with mistreating yourself. Oh my gosh, when I used to have periods of locking in, I would isolate myself. I'd be like, there's no time for fun here. I gotta get this done, I gotta get that done, and I cannot enjoy myself at any point because I feel like I'm still not doing enough. But honestly, this would come back and bite me because I always felt more drained. Like I'd pull all-nighters to study or send in applications, and because I wasn't taking time to relax or give my brain a break, I'd feel so much worse. Like, I remember I'd be cleaning and I'd be playing an anime in the background and I wouldn't even be able to enjoy that. Like, I'd feel too guilty to even give myself that because my brain would be racing, and that fear of being behind made me so anxious. It had a hold on me. And I remember coming home from exams and just crashing for a day or two. Like, I only left my bed to shower or to pick up my food delivery because I overdid it. And I'd get so sick. My body would be like, girl, you need to slow down. And I'd be like, get up, we gotta do the next thing, because if we don't, I'm gonna be behind. And that thought has a million other worries attached to it. Like, if I don't do this, this isn't gonna happen. And it just goes on forever. Like, it's easy to spiral here. I'm telling you, from someone who's been through it, you don't need all that noise. It's honestly something that I had to unlearn over the years. Changing your environment really helps. Going for walks really improves my mood a lot. And I love going to cafes, art galleries, or museums. And if you're able to, you could bring your work to places you enjoy and tackle it there. It really does make a big difference when you're working on something from a different location. And do not feel bad about taking up space in public. I used to be really anxious about this, so I get it, but you deserve to give yourself the best chances to succeed. And if sitting in a different environment and working on something there could help you, you should go for it. Be considerate. If certain spots have rules, make sure you follow them. It's really important to blend some fun into your life, so when it comes to doing work, you're coming from a place that's been positively stimulated. That's how you're gonna stay motivated and put your best foot forward. Listen, I don't have everything figured out, but I'm telling you, that period of me feeling so stuck and behind was really beneficial. All that reflecting I did allowed me to grow into a version of myself that I'm extremely happy to be. I can't even recognize the version of myself from my university graduation. I look at my grad pic, but I can't relate to the girl in the photo anymore. It almost feels like it isn't me that I'm looking at. We think so differently, we see the world in opposite ways, and I'm happier now. I feel more sure and more calm despite not knowing what the future holds. I'll leave you with this. Imagine a bunch of trees. They're all different kinds and at different stages, so when you get to comparing, you notice the differences. This tree over here has super vibrant leaves, and this one over here is super tall. Look at its height, look at the shade it provides. What are we not seeing or thinking about here? The roots. Trees grow through their roots. That's how they get their water and minerals. And they're kept stable by their roots as well, like when the weather's affecting them. But when we see all these trees, we're not even thinking about them, right? Despite how important they are. We're looking at the success on the outside, right? Apply this to your own life now. Sometimes, even when you feel like there's no changes or movement in life, you're growing in ways that you don't see, and you'll continue to do so. Just because some growth might not be visible immediately doesn't mean that it isn't happening or that it isn't important. You don't know how deep your roots go. You don't know how much you've grown. There's gonna be moments where you feel behind, like you're a little tiny tree and you're surrounded by others who are growing quick and flourishing. But it's gonna work out for you as well. Whatever you're going through, you're gonna get through it. You're still gonna grow, and your time will come too. Additionally, the soil is important, right? Trees can't thrive with unhealthy soil. My challenge to you is to make sure that your soil's good. Reroot yourself. Pick yourself up and plant yourself into healthier habits, situations, and relationships. This could also look like being kinder to yourself and adjusting your inner voice to be less critical and more compassionate. This is something that I've taken steps towards. It can be scary and intimidating to make changes, but you deserve to grow into the best version of yourself. So give yourself that opportunity. Remember, everyone's on a different path and we all grow in unique ways. I promise you are not behind. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, I'd love if you'd leave me a like and maybe even subscribe to keep up with me. I love reading comments, so if this resonated with you, I'd love to hear your thoughts. And if you'd like to leave a comment about literally anything, I'd like that too. I know some of you have been talking about the stuff that I have here behind me, so if you see something you like, leave a comment and we can have a conversation about it. Look at us with the long form video. I've been meaning to do more of these. I really enjoy making them. If I'm completely honest, I've just started to get a little more comfortable with posting. I'm not really a reserved person, but when it comes to social media, I definitely am. So it's been a journey to get to this point, you know? But I'm super happy and I've been lucky to get such sweet comments from some of you. Thank you so much. I cannot tell you how much it means to me. I'm very honored that you chose to watch this till the end, and I wish you all all the best. If you're currently feeling behind or stuck, I feel you. I've been there. I'm still there sometimes. And I want to tell you that it's gonna be okay. You will be okay. And take a minute to really appreciate how far you've come. It's really easy to overlook this when it comes to ourselves, right? I'm proud of you, and you should be proud of yourself too. Okay, I'm gonna get going. Take care of yourself, and I hope I see you soon. Let's go.